First up right now at 5:30, we start with breaking news in campaign 2020. After weeks of speculation, Joe Biden announced California Senator Kamala Harris will be his running mate. The former vice president made the announcement on Twitter later this afternoon, calling her a fearless fighter and one of the country's finest public servants. Harris is a 55-year-old first-term senator who challenged Biden in the primary. Channel 3's Natalie Brand is live right now. She is in Washington, D.C. Natalie, I imagine the reaction is coming in right now, right?
Coming in fast and furious, and there had obviously been a lot of buzz around this announcement and a lot of anticipation, especially since we were expecting it last week, and then it was delayed, and you had that list of more than a dozen really impressive female elected leaders from all different kinds of backgrounds, and some like Susan Rice without that direct elected experience, but a lot of experience in government. So the list was long and the process was intensive, from, of course, the typical vetting that you would do of tax returns and all those documents, and then also one-on-one interviews in the age of the coronavirus, and interview panels, and we've also learned focus groups. So this announcement has been a long time coming. Kamala Harris is a known name. Of course, as you mentioned, she was a former presidential candidate herself, so former rival on the campaign trail earlier this year. But her history with Joe Biden goes back, and he also referenced that on Twitter and in his statement to his supporters, specifically referencing the history between then California Attorney General Kamala Harris and Biden's late son, Beau, who was also an attorney general. And he talked about some of the issues, the shared issues that they worked on as top law enforcement officers in their respective states. And he, as you referenced, also called her a fearless fighter for the little guy and called her one of the country's finest public servants. Today we know she is also his running mate and the first black woman on a presidential ticket like this.
Natalie, I have to ask you, is this really a surprise? I mean, there were some pretty uncomfortable moments on the debate stage between the two back when the primary was just getting underway and she was a contender for the office herself. But she's been at the top of the list of so many lists lately, from CBS News to CNN. So many have said she was almost certainly the one who would get chosen, right?
Right. And Mark, there's so many factors, of course, and so many different strategies that you could think through. You know, some vice presidential picks are chosen for the state that they could bring to the ticket, others for their experience, how they complement the presidential nominee at the top of the ticket. But at the end of the day, if you look at Kamala Harris, she arguably does not bring the state of California as a new state to bring, because that is solidly blue during a presidential election year. But she does have this national name ID, a lot of political experience, followers from primary season, and we know that Biden has said one of his top criteria is having someone who could be president from day one, and arguably Kamala Harris has made that case for herself on the campaign trail, Mark.
Okay, Natalie Brand, thank you. Some good information there. We appreciate it.